Mrs. Adams sat by the fireside dreaming in a lonely way about the wonderful times of the past with her beloved husband Edwin. She had been so terribly lonely since his death that she spent many sleepless nights before the fireplace, hopelessly longing for his return. Her melancholy world was based solely on his memory. She sadly regretted that she had been the only one in his quiet funeral. Even his only brother, his twin Ronald, had died shortly before Edwin had his unexpected heart attack. Although it was apparent that Ronald had been inferior and a discredit to the family, she could not understand Edwin's contempt, hatefulness, and overbearing attitude towards his twin. There had even been talk among the neighbors that Ronald's death had been a direct result of Edwin's harsh treatment. After a trivial dispute, Edwin had banished his twin from the household, and having neither money nor a place to stay, Ronald had died of pneumonia in a jail cell of a nearby town. Mrs. Adams thought little of these accusations, however, and continued to dream on about her darling Edwin. Suddenly, she turned in her chair as the smooth pattern of her thought was interrupted by a strange noise behind her. A mysterious electricity surged through her body as her eyes met those of a sleek, black cat. The slender creature glided silently across the carpeted floor and climbed into Edwin's large red chair in the corner of the room. Mrs. Adams was so completely awestruck that she could hardly subdue her emotions enough to speak to Edwin, for, of those, she was positive that the silent creature was Edwin. She had always sincerely believed that he would someday return to her from his grave, although she had not expected him to be reincarnated in the form of a beautiful black cat. In the weeks following Edwin's reappearance, any slight doubt in Mrs. Adams' mind concerning the cat's identity was completely dissolved. Not only did Edwin, as she naturally named her feline companion, share Mrs. Adams's bed and continually occupy the former Edwin's favorite red chair, but he also retired at 10 o'clock every evening and rose at 7 each morning, just as Edwin had habitually done for years. Mrs. Adams's large fern plant in the living room strongly irritated the cat, just as it had done Edwin, and the latter Edwin, like the former, intensely disliked tobacco smoke. Strangely enough, the slender cat even relished Edwin's favorite dish, macaroni and cheese. There was no doubt in Mrs. Adams's mind that this was a glorious reincarnation, and the cat's strange appearance had extinguished all of her loneliness and aching desire for her husband. She was just beginning to become accustomed to the joy of Edwin's company when her world was shattered and destroyed. While she was busy in her kitchen one clear morning, she heard the sounds of a violent struggle in the yard. She hurried to the porch and witnessed in horror the sickening, bloody sight of Edwin slumping into motionless defeat before a slender, sleek, black cat, a cat identical to Edwin. "Ronald!" she exclaimed in a terrified whisper as she quickly drew her face from the horrible sight.